Great. Well, thank you so much here for joining me at the launch for FEND. This is so exciting. Can you tell me how the idea came together?
So my background is in public health and research, injury prevention, and we started the Preventum Initiative, and the idea was to bring together evidence-based research with the latest technology and focus it on complex public health problems. So we could face it to use it to address things like diabetes or violence against women, childhood injury prevention. But of course, the huge crisis happening here in the States is the opioid crisis. So we decided to look at that first. So we have a few campaigns, one being around that sits alongside treatment to help with adherence, one around aimed at doctors with prescribing practices, and then of course we have this youth prevention campaign. And we were fortunate enough to be approached by Kevin Lyman, and he's already told you his story, but so it's this great thing where we've brought together this technology, this research, and now this channel, music, that we can talk to youth. And really the idea behind the campaign is, rather than preaching to kids or telling them what to do, we're saying, here's the information so you can make informed choices. And really, we want it to be about them talking with each other and us talking with them rather than preaching and not saying don't do things. It's just opioids or prescription painkillers, they're killing people and they're highly addictive and they're not your average recreational drug. So be careful. And this is how easy overdoses can happen, and these are the signs of an overdose, and this is how you respond to one. So it's empowering kids so they can make a stand against opioids.
Absolutely. I think too, with the whole music thing coming in with it, it's such a uniting force with everyone anyway. Plus, the best way to reach these kids is through mobile devices and iPads and iPhones and all.
Absolutely, because that's where everyone's at. Everyone's on their phone, right? And especially young people. And so having this channel where we can reach kids through music, which is a universal language, right? And so, yeah, it's very exciting. We're very excited about the potential. We've already got just under 6,000 young people who have downloaded.
Congratulations.
Which is great. Yeah, and we're hoping to, that'll ramp up as the Warped Tour starts, and we hope to have 50,000 young people download the app. And we're seeing great changes in knowledge. I think 90 at the start, when we asked people, would you know how to spot an overdose or how to respond to one, that rates were around 30% sort of knew that what they were or were confident that they could do something. And our current rates are around 90%. So after they've done this learning, 90% of kids know how to spot an overdose and what to do. And even getting messages out there about the Good Samaritan laws. That we've had stories from one mother, her son was at a party, underage drinking. He overdosed on some opioids and no one did anything, and he was left to die. And unfortunately, his 5 weeks later, his best friend, exactly the same place with friends partying, and no one called for help again because they were scared they would get themselves in trouble.
It's the fear.
Absolutely, but there's these laws, Good Samaritan laws, that if you call, you're given immunity. You and the person who's, people, the first responders will come, and they're not out to get people in trouble. They're there to save a life. And if getting that message out to kids alone can save lives. And these kids, we're getting feedback from these young people who have done the app saying, I had no idea about this sort of thing, but now I know I could spot the signs of an overdose and I could save a life. And that's empowering. And
that's too. I was reading, in the packet of paperwork that came over about the movement and everything, how, in 2 years, the numbers even haven't been updated properly and things where, they're not even taking these numbers as seriously as they really are.
There's always this time lag with getting the numbers. And the last update that I saw, in some counties in America, it had gone up 8,000%. And I mean, it's sort of going, there's a few places where the rates have gone down, but I don't think anyone really knows what to do. And there's a lot of money going into treatment because we have to treat people, but if we go upstream and teach these anyone, adults, youth, whoever, about the dangers of it, we could stop them from becoming addicts and then ending up overdosing and dying. So it's,
Well, I want to thank you so much for taking a few minutes to speak with me. I appreciate it. I think it's absolutely wonderful what you guys are doing. I wish you all the success with it.
thank you so much, and thanks for your time.